Hello everybody and welcome to Simulate Gaming and welcome to a brand new game that got sent to me last night. This is Machine World 2. Now, this is basically an open world sandbox game where you can build anything you want, like in a completely randomly generated open world, and it's quite a unique experience. And I'm going to be showing you, this is a first look basically. This is not an in-depth review. The next episode will be the in-depth one. This is basically just a first look, showing you the base stuff and also the vehicles as well. So with that said, let's jump straight into the action. So like I said, this is completely randomly generated. I've got the hills set on 0.2. Now you can like basically tell the game how much like mountains and hills to randomly generate. I've got it quite flat for this demonstration, but you can make it really hilly if you like. Now at the moment, this current build does not have multiplayer, but they are working on multiplayer on the roadmap. That is along with VR support as well. But yeah, I've pictured this game to be really good when it's out. I can imagine people on servers and stuff. You have roads going from A to B. You have loads of different buildings, maybe even towns. But for now, this is just us and an open world with nothing on it just yet. So we've literally just started off, and we are joined by this beautiful little buggy here. This is basically the starting vehicle. Now, in this particular build, this is basically the equivalent of creator mode, I assume. So we can spawn in anything we like for free. But I'm assuming at some point we're going to get like a survival mode. Now there are missions as well, but on this particular build, the missions are basically just a tutorial. I've already gone ahead and done them, so I roughly know what we're doing, but I'm still not an expert. Okay, so I forgot to say this at the beginning of the video. All the links you need about this game are in the description box below if you want to find out more information. If you're wondering why things have happened, you have to join in to the video. Stay tuned to see all this happened. But yeah, all the links you need in the description box below. Just make sure you check them out, make sure you support the game, follow it and whatever. But yeah, enjoy the video, be back in a minute. So we'll kick things off right now by taking a look at this Dune Buggy here. So like I said, you get lots of vehicles. The name of the game is to basically build things, anything you want, how big you want, where you want, whatever you want, using vehicles. Now in this particular build, which is basically the creative mode, you can use your hands if you want, but we're going to do our best to use some vehicles today. So this is the starting vehicle, this is what you spawn with. Now in the actual game release, I'm going to assume that you have to unlock and build, maybe even build or buy the rest of the vehicles, but on this particular build, we can just spawn in whatever we want. Now that built out there, that is called the drone ship, and I'll explain what that is momentarily. But for now, we need a flat piece of land. That over there looks pretty darn flat, so we're going to head over there. So first of all, you can see these little yellow squares appearing. That is called the interactive squares or the interaction squares. So by putting our crosshair into there and pressing A on the controller, I'm using a controller right now, but you can use keyboard and mouse if you want. We can actually jump in. So we'll get our next one here, our next square. We'll press A again. At least at X then. I'm so used to PS4 controllers. We'll quickly press A to get into here. Now you actually have to hold forward on the joystick to get in, and you have to hold back to get out. We can get out by clicking on that one again, or if you move, look for this square over here, we can actually close the door. Now we've got a fully working interior. As you can see, there's a lot of detail in here. Now everything you see is usable basically. So we've got the ignition here, we've got the diff locks, we've got full beam, low beam, and also a parking brake. We can press L3, I think it's called, an Xbox controller as well, to zoom in. So we'll quickly put the parking brake on. It doesn't light up yet because there's no power, but then we'll turn the ignition to get the battery on, and then we'll press it again and hold it to actually start the Dune Buggy up. So we'll do that right now. And as you can see, the Dune Buggy is now started. We got our gear display and stuff here with a HD speedometer as well. It looks like we're actually moving. That's because I zoomed in too far. Right, we'll disconnect the handbrake here, or the parking brake. We'll head over to this flat location here. Now driving is pretty self-explanatory. If you've ever driven any driving game ever, it's pretty easy to get used to here. Right, let's go ahead and head over to this location here. So it looks pretty flat, as you can see. I got the graphics on quite low just for recording. It will be completely optimized by the time it comes out. Right, let's go ahead and whack this Dune Buggy right here. We'll quickly get the parking brake on. Now, if you're wondering if you need the parking brake, yes. Yes, you do. I found out the hard way. Right, let's go ahead and jump out of here real quick. Like so. We'll get the door closed if I can find the square. There it is. We'll get that closed up. So basically, like I said, the main part of this game is building and using machines to build. Now, I probably should turn up the vegetation spawning level. I got it on quite low just so we get like 60 solid FPS. But you can't see all this spawning in when you're playing usually. So we've got the boat out there. Now what we're going to do first of all is get up the PDA. Now we can do that by pressing X on the Xbox controller, or I believe it's M on the keyboard. And this is basically what we use to control that ship out there. So we don't get to drive that boat. We do get to drive boats, But what we're going to do first of all is go to the pause menu. Now you can see we got vehicles here. Now these are all the vehicles in this current build of the game. So we've got the dumper trailer, we've got basically a pickup, what do they call it, like a hook lift helicopter. We've got a 18-wheeler, we've got a flatbed trailer, we've got a shore boat, which is the smallest boat in game. We've got a wheel loader, that's a fully sized wheel loader. We've got a flatbed trailer. We've got the UTV, which is what we've already got. We've got the mission vessel. I've not used this one just yet, so we will use this one at some point. We've got the crane truck. This is one of the main things you need in this game. You will definitely be needing this crane if you want to play realistically. We've got the excavator. You can excavate all of the dirt around you. This is completely dynamic terrain. So we've got the bulldozer there. Once again, that's something you're going to be needing to flatten off stuff. We'll be using that in this video. We've got the utility truck here. We've got the helicopter. We've got the... This is basically a ferry. It's called the transport vessel, but it's basically a ferry that we actually get to drive this one. So it's different to the one that's out there. We get to drive this one ourselves, and I've actually driven this one before, and I'll be playing with it again in a minute. We've got a quad bike, which is basically the same thing, but smaller. I've not actually used this just yet. We might actually order this. And we've got a small helicopter as well. So just keep it pretty simple. I'm going to order the quad bike for now. Let's go ahead and order that, and you see the quad bike is ordered. It will be delivered via the DL88 ship, and it turns out to use it. I already know how to use that. So to get that in, what we need to do is basically when we order stuff, that ship over there will deliver it. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to go ahead and get that the PDA rule here real quick. Let's go ahead and plop this down. So we want to get this out. We'll go to the drone ship. Now I want to set first of all the docking position. So we're going to press A to do that. Now it should automatically set the docking position. Now we got approach shore, order ship to approach shore, and we got it to order it to go away from shore. So we're going to go ahead and as you can see right there actually, just up from this, it can't click on it, but it's got a picture of a truck and it says 1. That means there's 1 vehicle on board, which is the one we just ordered. The other icon is parts, and we'll get to that in a minute. But we're going to go ahead and ask this ship to come to shore. Now, it's completely AI. It's not like coded into the game as in like there's no... This is obviously a randomly generated world, so it's going to be completely different. So we actually have to set the location ourselves. Now, it may sometimes not be able to do it, which means we just have to find another space, but it's pretty good. It'll just, if you can't do it, it'll just drive off again and you have to find another one. But whilst that comes in, you can see it turning around out there. Whilst that comes in, we're going to go ahead and start building. So here we have blueprints and stuff. So we've got some available blueprints. This is basically you can spawn things down in one, or you can build everything from scratch. We're going to go ahead and get the fuel depot first of all. Now we can make it come in as one piece or get it in pieces. For this first demonstration, I'm going to get it all in one big piece. Activate blueprint. Cool. So place action to start. Press action to start placing the fuel bowser. The fuel station. Sorry. So we're going to go ahead and plop that down here like that. That was the A button on the controller to do that. Now you've got these little teeth things underneath. I'm assuming when they go green, that's when we can place it. You see that green there. We're going to get it into the ground a little bit just so it's not floating here. And we'll press A to place that down. It's sort of messed up a little bit. I'm not sure why that is. I wonder if it's because I put it close to that tree. But yeah, it's not recommended you get the auto build thing. I personally recommend building it manually. But yeah, that's basically how you put things down. This is really strange. I've never seen this before. It's probably because the ground it's under the ground a bit too much. We'll try it again in a minute. How's the ship getting on? So the ship has arrived. Hopefully it's got our quad bike on board. So this is the bit that takes the longest. So we got a little notification there saying a delivery ship is approaching shore. So he's going to go ahead and find the safest way to get to shore, and then he'll flip the ramp down, and we should be able to get our quad bike off there. But whilst that happens, we're going to go ahead and once again we'll get parts here. We'll start off with the basics. These are the categories here. We've got filters, we've got basic, wall, ceiling, support, window, door, floor, decoration, big part. What's a big part? I've not actually clicked on big part yet. Oh, this is the bridge and stuff. So we've got the communications tower, and we've got the bridge as well, so you can build huge bridges. And like I said at the beginning, when the servers and the multiplayer is released, I can imagine people are building full-on cities on this game, so it's going to be incredible. We've got lights there as well. But for now, we're going to start off with the concrete foundation. Now, we can change the dimension to this. I'm going to make this... Tell you what, we'll do 10 by 10. We'll get it as square as we can here. I wonder if you can type things in manually. You can type things in manually. Fantastic. Let's go ahead and do 10 meters by 10 meters, and we'll make this 1 meter deep, maybe? I don't, we'll do half a meter. Have I done that right? No, I've made a... Oh, I didn't save, that's why. My bad. I wondered why it was so thin. Right, so we're going to have a 10 by 10. It's going to be half a meter deep. So we'll order this part here. And as you can see, it's spawned down in front of us. Now, you can rotate things here. Now, I'm using the controller, but you can use the numpad as well. So this is me using the numpad to do this. So we can... 4 and 5 will make it rotate. I think that's pretty much it for the foundations. You can't really do much with the foundations, but I'll show you the walls and stuff in a minute. So we want to go ahead and get this plopped down somewhere quite flat. Now, if you want to get the ground completely flat, you can do that, and I'll show you that in a second. But for now, we're just going to go ahead and plop this down like that. And that should be placed now. So this is going to be our new building. Oh, here it is. So the ship has arrived on shore. It's flipped the ramp down, and as you can see, our quad bike is now on there. So this is on the release game. This is how you get your new vehicles and even your parts. So when you order walls and stuff, they should come on here, I believe. So let's go ahead and jump onto the quad bike. We're going to get this thing off. We'll send the ship away again because we want to get more parts if we can. So we'll jump onto this like that. Forgot to mention at the beginning as well, we do have third person in this game. So I press F1. You can see we have third person that works for vehicles and on foot as well. Let's go ahead and start the ignition up here. A two-stroke, nice. Not often we get two-stroke stuff. So what's this here? We got a parking brake. What's that there? Is that lights? I think that might be lights on that one. Not 100% sure. It doesn't actually show up. Oh, it is lights. There's the icon for it, just off to the right there. So we do get some sort of description. So that one there is the battery, means it's the ignition. We've got the parking brake, and we've got the lights. I think that's it for this quad bike. We'll go ahead and get it taken off here. Ooh, there we go. Just put this out of the way. Somewhere. This is actually pretty cool. It's the first time I've driven the quad bike. Right, let's go ahead and set the parking brake here. Get the ignition turned off, and we'll jump off. So that was just a demonstration. I used something quite small so it'd get here a bit quicker. I don't know if it matters about size or anything, but just in case. So what we're going to do now is get the PDA back up once again, and we'll tell this ship that it can leave. So we're going to go ahead and first of all turn that one off, and we'll say you can go away. So hopefully it should start leaving now. Okay, I can see it moving. It's lifted the front door up. The ramp is going in now, and that will now just go somewhere random. It doesn't have like a location, like a sleeping location. It just goes. So it's going to find its way out. It might have to reverse to get out of here. But whilst that does that, we're going to go ahead and start some building. That's the main concept of the game. Now, you could do this realistically or unrealistically. Now, like I said, the first thing you want to do is probably flatten the ground down. Now, to do that, we can either excavate it, which may take a while. Are you still struggling to get out of here? But we're going to go ahead right now and use, if I go to vehicles, we'll get the bulldozer, if I can find that. There it is, the bulldozer will spawn instantly. I don't know if this is a creative mode thing. Like I said, maybe on the release game it won't have that. So it's a huge bulldozer. We actually get to drive it. It's sort of spawned on top of our building, but that's not to worry. So once again, it's very, very realistic how you have to do this thing. So we'll open the door from here. Now, where's the step? Here's the step. We'll jump up. I don't know if it's going to work if it's on this little slant. That's the only thing. Now, I can actually technically move this out the way because it's not actually set in stone just yet. So we'll quickly do that. There we go. Maybe a little bit more here. Just move it out of the way for now, basically. It's sort of in the way of the bulldozer. Right. Let's go ahead and jump up into here. Why won't you jump up? What's going on here? There we go. That's more like it. Now we can jump into the cabin here. Once again, it's completely animated. You can see the guy getting in there. Not sure if this mechanic's going to be ironed out a bit. Sometimes he does that animation even when there's no seat. Including one of the boats, which I'll show you in minutes. We'll get the door closed right now. Now, once again, completely all manual. Let's go ahead and start the ignition up here. All the buttons can be used as well, because we've got our lights there. We've got basic functions for this here as well, the actual blade part of it. Now, I'm not sure if you can control the back. That's one thing I've always wondered. I've not actually found out just yet if we can. But let's go ahead and reverse this thing right now. So this is where I completely mess up my game save here, because this is very, very tricky to get used to, but we'll do our best. So, I'm using the analog stick to move around right now on the controller, but now if I use the back triggers, we actually lower and lift the blade. So it looks like it's actually set automatically, that. Okay, so by using the triggers, we can actually lift up the blade and lower the blade as well. So we just want to go ahead and lift this up. We'll turn around here by using the joystick. Now, it is getting quite dark. So this is the dev version of it, obviously. So I can actually skip nighttime. So now it's 2 o'clock. Let's go ahead and we want to start getting this quite level. So what you want to do is roughly think of a level that you want it to be. Now, I've sort of messed myself up here by being part of the, by putting the fuel tank down thing. But we'll go ahead and lower that down a little bit here. Now, what we can do is set this. So we'll zoom into here. We can go ahead and set the working width there. So now it's gone yellow down on the right corner there. You know it's activated. So set. This one here is set. This end one, sorry, is set to sea level. Can't remember what the middle one is. I completely forgot. I need to look into that again. But now we'll go ahead and we'll start hopefully bulldozing this now. So all this terrain is completely dynamic. As you can see roughly in front of us, it's automatically keeping the blade flat to where we set it. So it's keeping it quite stable. Now, I'm not sure if the trees are going to be an issue. It looks like they might be. It looks like that's maybe why the fuel barrels are messed up a little bit. But as you can see, we are digging. Is that actually turned on? Yeah, it is. That one? Not really sure what I'm doing here. I'm still not completely used to the bulldozer, but you get the idea. Once you get used to it, you can go ahead and level the whole area if you like. Now, it will take a while, but it's quite realistic in that way. So you basically now just go back and forth. We've set the level, of course. We'll go ahead and rotate that so you can see. So basically, yeah, you just do the whole area like this when you want the area to be flat, which is pretty cool. I've not seen this aspect in a game before. When it comes to building, like flattening land to build things on. So if you had the time, you can go ahead and make this whole area completely flat. So although the bulldozer's going up and down, now we've set the automatic level thing, it should be keeping the ground nice and level there, which looks like it might be actually doing that, which I didn't expect. Once again, this is a very early version of the game, so I'm very, very surprised it's actually working as it says on the tin. Really, really looking forward to this game being completely optimized though. So we are actually leveling this area here. A little bit here that we'll get, and then we'll go out and start playing around with the actual building functions. So you get the idea. We'll go ahead and get rid of this thing right now. So we'll turn her off by pressing triangle, not triangle, sorry, Y on this Xbox controller. We'll go ahead and jump out of here. Oh, that didn't work. Jump out of here. That was my fault. I pressed the wrong way on the analog stick. There we go. We'll jump down. Come on, nice and steady. So that's basically what we've just been doing. So like I said, it does take a while to get used to, but once you get the hang of it, you'll be able to get this whole area looking flat in no time. But really, really cool. This is completely randomly generated, by the way, guys, this island, like I said at the beginning. So the fact you can also manipulate it to suit you is really, really cool. Maybe in the future update, they'll also give us a roller as well. Now this thing here, I don't know if we can use just yet, like the subsoiler bit. Hopefully. That'd be quite cool to rough up the dirt. I don't know if we'll need it, but it's just a cool little aspect. I'm actually going to change the time once again. There we go. 2 o'clock. Now, for the people, so let's just say you want to build a building. Now, there's a couple of ways we can do this. Let's go back to the pause menu here. We'll go to parts. Let's go ahead and go to walls here. Let's get a... There's one with an archway. This one here, I like this one. So we're going to get 5 meters... we can do the height as well, make it really tall. Make it 5 by 5 meters. A bit big for what we want today. Actually, no, we won't make it 5 meters. We'll make it 3 because I want to see if we can get a roof on this thing as well. So make it 5 by 3. That was 2. Why did it change to 2? Cool. So then I've got 5 by 3. Now we can change the materials of it as well. So we've got ashment, whatever that is. It's basically brick. We've got Cambridge, which is another sort of brick. We've got concrete, which is the default one. We've got concrete basic, which is basically rough concrete. We've got California, which is, I believe, like like sandstone or something. We've got wood. We've got cypress wood as well, which is basically an older version, I think. So I like the rough concrete, if I'm honest. It's called concrete basic, but it's basically rough concrete. And we're going to go ahead and we can order the part. Now, it does order, but in this particular build, it will just spawn right in front of us. I think it's because we're on like a creative mode sort of thing. Right, we'll get that closed down here. Now, I wish we could get rid of the bulldozer, just so it's not in the way. But we'll go ahead and switch to build mode here. We'll pick this up, and as you can see, we can now use this. Now, I will be showing you how to do it realistically in a minute. We can use a crane to do this as well. Let's go ahead and get it lifted up for now, though, for this particular demonstration. Right, there we go. We'll get it sort of lifted up a little bit like that. Triangle will flatten out completely. Oh, I pressed the wrong button then. To rotate is the triggers. There we go. Camera's a little bit juddery on this thing, but this game is work in progress. Don't forget, guys. So that all will be ironed out before the release. Right, let's get this as straight as we can. Let's go ahead and actually freeze it there. So by pressing LB on the controller, we can freeze it. So that's not placed there. That's just frozen, so we can mess around with it and change angles and stuff. So let's go ahead and see how good we can get this. I think triangle will level it out. No, I leveled it out to myself, not the actual object itself. Right, there we go. Stay. Let's go ahead. We'll just place it here now. We'll take a gamble. We'll place it here. I need to adjust my analog sensitivity, I think. Stick sensitivity. Right, so this should now be placed with... What button is it? A. There we go. So that is now placed down now. You see it clicked in, sort of. So we can place another one of these down now real quick. Then we can get all the fancy stuff in. So yeah, just think of the possibilities, guys, when there's more parts and stuff as well, so you'll be able to build huge mountain top houses and mansions and castles and what have you. We're going to switch to this part here now if we can. Oh, sorry, I forgot to connect it, my bad. So, I skipped a piece. So as you see this blue line here, this is actually connected to other parts. I need to move this log if I can, I don't know how to do that just yet. So this little thing here is the currently selected object, so the circle represents that. Now this triangle is what we want to connect it to. So this blue line here, when we press Y on the controller, it should go green, this line, and it should be now one with this base block that we're stood on. So we'll press Y, there we go. So this is now connected, so this, if something was to happen to this, this will also be now connected to that. So as our first wall down, we can go ahead and get more walls if we like, though this would be a lot easier if we had the time to flatten out the area first, of course. Let's go ahead and actually switch to this object here. Once again, we'll do the same thing. So Y should level that out, I believe. Let's go ahead and flip it around like that. E. Right, I'm going to freeze that there a minute whilst we get a better angle on this. There we go. We'll rotate that around like so. Hopefully this will automatically pick up on this and click it in. No, it didn't. Dang it. Right, let's try that again. Right, there we go. So there is actually ways to click this in. I've just not really used the controls yet. Once again, this is only a first look, not an in-depth review. Let's go ahead and plop that down there like that. That just dropped it. Simulate. That's not what we wanted at all. Okay, so I can't work out how to get it to snap, but if there is a snap option, of course, that'd be a lot easier. If there's not, that might be something the game devs might want to add in, because for people like me, that's not very good with lining things up. As you can see, that's my best attempt, but we'll go ahead and snap it in anyway. Maybe, just maybe, it will fix it for us. Let's go ahead and do that. So now all three of these are connected, so that's how you basically do the structures of the houses, I believe, roughly, give or take. So of course you can go ahead and do that. Now, I need to look into... Why is the time keep going dark? Let's skip it to... Well, there. I wish you could freeze time, actually. So that's basically, give or take, I believe I'm doing this right. That's how you basically build. So now these lines are green, it means they're all connected. Now we can press tab to turn off object mode, and now we're in normal gameplay mode once again. Yeah, like I said, we do need some sort of snap function. It might already be in the game. It would surprise me if it wasn't, so I need to look into that. Once again, this is only a first look, not an in-depth review, but let's quickly go back to parts of it. What we can also do is get like doors and stuff as well. But you guys want to see how we do this realistically, I assume. So that's how we do it with our hands. So we're going to try and do this one. Try being the key word, because I tried using the crane earlier, and it didn't go well because I'm not very good at it. But we'll do our best. So we'll quickly spawn in the crane here. We'll go to vehicles. Where is the crane? Mobile crane. So this is probably the first thing you want to save up for when you get your story mode going, and I'll show you why in a minute. So we'll spawn this instantly. There we go. We'll think about it and it'll spawn it in. So this thing is huge. Now this is completely dynamic once again as well. So actually it's actually sort of spawned in a good place. We don't actually have to move it, but you can of course jump into the cockpit and drive this thing if you want. But we're going to go ahead and skip that part. Let's go ahead and first of all we'll pull out these platforms here like so. That will let us get into it. Obviously the door's up there for this. Now before we do that, I don't know if there's a way to do it inside. I tried looking earlier, I couldn't find it, but if we get the PDA up here, we can actually go to radio control like we did with the boat, go to crane, we can get the legs out here, we want to select, that's the wrong thing, we want to select all 4 legs if we can. Right, we'll get these things extracted out here. You can see the support legs are coming out now on the crane. There's the fully out, cool. Let's go ahead and drop it down like this. And there we go. It should be supporting it. That's pretty flat. We got quite lucky with this land. It's pretty flat. But if you want to make it completely flat, so let's say the front's a little bit too high right here. We're going to go ahead and let's have a look. So yeah, the front one, I need to think about this. So the front one there, I believe. So we'll leave that one green. We can actually lower this one so that it's a little bit more flat, like that. Went a little bit too far. But you get the idea. You can make it completely flat if you want, just to make it a bit safer. Let's go back some here. Go back to the crane. So we can actually control the arm from here as well. We're not going to do it just yet because actually I'm assuming you guys want me to get in and do it manually. So we'll quickly jump up into the crane here. Up here. Come on. Slowly but surely. Right, let's go ahead and open this cabin door here. We'll jump in to the crane. Come on, in you get. Right, there we go. So we can close the door as well. Let's go ahead and do that just so we're nice and safe. Right, so we've got the master battery switch here. We'll go ahead and flick that on. And everything should come on now. Now this screen here is working. I'll show you why you can't really see nothing on it in a second. So here we've got our lights. We've got the interior light. You see it getting brighter in here. We've got excavated roof. Extended roof, sorry. Extreme boom. These are warning lights. Not really sure what these are though. We've got the main crane controls here as well. But let's go ahead and do it using the joystick. So the analog stick will help it go up and down. Now that second screen, now it's pretty clear what it is. There's actually a camera on the boom, so we can see where we're aiming this thing. We can also look around with the camera as well. So the aim is to try and lift up that final piece of wall. Now once again, I'm not very good with the crane, but we'll do our best. Let's go ahead and lower that thing down like this. We're going to extend the boom by pressing, what is this on the Xbox controller? RB. There we go. And then RT will lower the actual hook. Now, this is where we need to get this part out here. Now, I think I've actually gone a little bit too far out. My bad. There we go. That's up. There we go. Now, this should spawn the ropes. As you can see there on the screen, it has done so. So we can now lift up the crane and start building with this thing. Now, like I said, I'm not an expert with this just yet. But we will do our best. So we're going to be using a lot of the screen for this because, obviously, the cabin of the truck. Okay, so what I want to do real quick is just extend this boom as far as we can here. Though we're already losing sight of this, so I need to actually start using the boom now, I think. The screen, sorry. So we'll get the final stage out there. Now here is the house. We actually want to go this side a little bit here. Now, as you can see, we can't really see where it's going properly. So for that, this is what's really cool. We can jump out of here. We'll jump out of here as well. Right there. Oh, we fell down the wrong side. I get quite bad FPS here. That's because, one, I'm recording and my computer hates fraps, and two, we've got quite a lot in this area. But, once again, this is work in progress, so it will be optimized. That's like the last thing on their list, I believe. Let's go ahead and get that out, just in case we need to get back up. So, let's go ahead and get into our house. You can see it's still up there in the sky, which is pretty darn cool. I don't know how to move that tree. Well, I need to look into that. But now we can go ahead and get our PDA out right here. We'll go to the remote control section. We'll get the crane out. We'll go to the boom arm. So this here, this can take a while to get used to. But I believe this here is the actual boom part of it. There we go. We don't make sure we don't hit that. There we go. Let that straighten out a little bit. So this here is the actual hook itself. So we can start, what way's down? Now, shoot down's down. But you never know. There we go. So we'll slowly start bringing that in. So we can basically control the whole crane using our PDA, which is really cool. I think we maybe parked a little bit too far away, though. So this part here is... I don't actually know what these buttons do. I think that there is... That will drop it, so we don't want to do that. We do want to rotate it, however. If we can do that. Is that rotating? I think it's slowly rotating. Slowly but surely. There we go. So that will roughly... I don't think you need it for stuff like this. That's obviously only if you're playing ultra realistically, but this will be good for getting things up from... Say you live on a hill, of course you could use it to do that as well. Right, let's get this thing in. That's down. We want to go this... No, wrong way. There's a bit of a delay, so what I'm actually looking at to see where it's going is the back of the truck. Oh, did I hit myself in the face? Let that calm down a little bit here. Let's get that rotated around. No, wrong way, that way. Okay, so I believe you probably could, if you have a lot more skill than me, get this in place properly. But what we're going to do right now is cheat. We can probably drop that like that. So, obviously, for putting it from there to there, you wouldn't really need this. But we're going to go ahead and use our hands right now. But you can get it up mountains, basically, which is pretty cool. So we'll go ahead and pick this up. Oh, hang on, pick that up there. We're going to go ahead and reset the wall like that. We'll spin her around like this. Let's get a better angle on this thing here. There we go. So to pause this, I'm using LB. To freeze it, sorry, so we can move it around. Let's go ahead and plop that down like that. About there, I reckon. There. Pretty good. Not too bad. Well, I've said I'm not a professional just yet. This is only a first look. But we need to get this thing connected to here if we can. So we'll press... triangle, not triangle, Y, sorry. And you can see it slowly coming together. Once again, I don't know if there's a snap function. Hopefully there is a snap function, because that would become very, very handy if you could snap like walls and stuff together. To get rid of little errors like I've done here, basically. That's terrible. But you get the idea. So this is going to be episode number 1. This is basically the base functions of it. I will be back with a part 2 very, very soon. We're going to look at all the vehicles and also do a bit more in-depth building. This is basically just a first look. So join me in part 2. We'll look a bit more in depth at this. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please tap the thumbs up button. It really does mean a lot. All the links you need to look into this game are in the description box below. Make sure you check them out. I've been Simulate Gaming, and I'll see you in the next one.